All right, Sean, let's just jump right in. The phrase that I keep hearing in American healthcare, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but everything's on fire and there isn't any money and there's 100 vendors knocking on my door. There's so many initiatives that could be pursued, so many engagements that could be undertaken. Why does data come first in your thinking?
First and foremost is just an understanding of what that asset is. Most people don't even treat their data as an asset. So to have a fundamental understanding and a ground leveling, be it normalizing it, understanding it, using it, what have you, that's the foundation to be able to even entertain other vendors. How can you make any decisions if you don't have an understanding of where the data is? Be it operational, clinical, or financial, if you're out there just making whimsical decisions based on gut feelings, you're not going to be accurate. You're not going to have precision in the decisions that you're going to make, and you're not going to be able to really judge or measure your performance on those decisions.
Totally dig that. Solid case for starting with the data. Then the next question that will come up, so if they've gone through the 100 initiatives that they could be pursuing, they have made the decision, we need to get our data straight before we do anything else. Seems like the next question is going to be build versus buy. I would like to hear your case on why we go buy instead of build.
The fundamental question comes back to what is your core competency as an organization? If you're a health care system, your hospitals, physicians' office, et cetera, your job is to provide care and to make people well. It's not to be a data warehouse organization. It's not to be a data management company. It's not to be a reporting and analytics organization. All those functions serve the purpose of providing care. So focus on it's Business School 101. Focus on the things that you're competent in and leave the other things to other people.
Okay, so we've got the decision to go with data first. I think you made a good case on why we want to go with a buy decision. What can you tell us about how to be effective when you're engaging a vendor? I mean, of course, VisitQuate focuses on the revenue cycle side. That's a given. But whether you're starting on the clinical side, your supply chain side, your facility side, or on the revenue cycle, you will go through the build buy decision, and then you're going to go into, okay, we need to be effective at engaging a vendor who's going to bring us our solutions. What guidance do you have for a health system that's made the buy decision and is now looking to engage a vendor?
I would look for someone who has a full ecosystem. A lot of healthcare systems right now are focused on reducing the number of vendors that they have in play.
Sure.
So if you have a vendor who has multiple talents and has multiple things to bring to the table, that tends to be a good solution for them. So maybe it's taking the data, organizing the data, normalizing the data, curating the data, and then moving that to analytics or automation or workflow analytics. All those things work together into one cohesive, almost like a Apple environment or the ecosystem that Apple is. You have your phone, you have your computer, you have your earbuds, everything.
Sure.
Well, look for a vendor who can do multiple things and reduce the number of handoffs to other vendors.
Great. Now, I know you have seen a lot of implementations, and you've seen implementations that went very fast. You've seen them that go very slow. I would think that any provider who's trying to undertake an initiative like this wants to be on the very fast side, assuming they don't compromise quality. What are things that provider organizations can do when they're in this stage to ensure that they're moving quickly and getting to their goals rapidly?
It really is a change management issue that has to start with the top down. The leaders of the organizations, typically when a poor implementation goes on, it's the leaders say, yeah, we bought this thing, have fun with it. That doesn't lead to success.
Right.
It takes that initiative, not hand-holding, but the internal champions to work it down to the people who are going to use it to change their day-to-day work because of that new solution. And if all those things are in lockstep, then it goes pretty quickly. I think there has to be cross-organizational buy-in as well. So you have to have the organization who's going to be using it. Maybe it's the finance, maybe it's the rev cycle group. Well, they have to be in lockstep with the CIO and the IT organization because they're going to be the ones who are providing the inputs to that implementation.
Yeah.
So it has to be a cohesive, intertwined connections that work together to satisfy the whole.
So what you're talking about really is an accountability relationship internally and strong leadership, governance, et cetera, as you roll that out. I'd like to just ask you to also speak to the dynamic between the provider organization, that leadership structure, and the vendor. What are some other ways when you're thinking about that particular relationship where you can ensure success and speed?
I think the first thing is it's not a vendor-provider relationship. It's a partnership.
Right on.
It has to be dynamic, right? Because it's a journey along a long path. You set them up for success by doing the initial things that are going to make them successful. And it might be more blocking and tackling up front. But it's a journey that's going to evolve, and you don't get complacent by just staying in that one spot. So that partnership and that trust that you have with that organization, mutual trust,
Yeah.
right? It's the trust between the provider as your client or the vendor as a vendor. But it's a partnership that has to evolve, continuing to grow, and continue to make each other successful.
Sure. So we've been